Hello, everyone. Excuse me. Welcome to another evening of stamping. My name is Sarah Simon, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I live in Appleton, Wisconsin, and I'm so excited to be stamping with you tonight. I got myself a new chair. So I'm still in the new location. I kind of liked it last week, but I am going to push this out and stand when I stamp. But I found that when I was talking to you, I was up a little bit too high and I couldn't get everything fixed the way I wanted it to. And so I ended up getting, it's called a drafting chair. So it's on wheels, but it's a little bit higher than my desk chair. So I can sit at my countertop or I can stand. So thank you guys all for joining me. There's a lot of you who have joined on. It looks like we've got um, Renee is in Western New York. It's 44 degrees. Yeah, it is chilly here too. It says 43 degrees on my computer right now. So we're supposed to have freeze warnings for tonight. So I think it's going to get a little chilly. So we've got Donna jumped on and Lisa, Marva, Michelle up in Green Bay, and Linda and Linda. We got two Lindas, Betty, Julie, Kelly was the first one to jump on and say hello. So I'm excited to be here with you tonight. I think last week somebody asked me if I would do um, a gift card holder or some gift card holders. So I thought I would start tonight with doing one, and I can do a couple more before Christmas. I know those are really popular. It seems like more and more people are giving gift cards for Christmas or giving cash for Christmas, and to try to package them nicely is always something we as stampers are looking for. Tonight's gift card holder that I'm going to be showing you is a little bit different. Um, I kind of call it an experience gift card holder. Um, the reason I do that is it's got a pocket to hold three different gift cards. So if you wanted to give, let's say you wanted to give a family gift, like if I wanted to give a gift to my niece and her husband and their baby, and if the baby was a little bit older, and I wanted it to be some sort of like maybe an experience, so I maybe wanted to give them a gift card to a movie theater, a gift card to dinner, and a gift card to a place to get ice cream afterwards. Or if you wanted to do a pampering, that was Lila. If you wanted to do a pampering theme and you wanted to give them maybe a place to go get their nails done or a facial and a place to get a massage or whatever the case might be, it allows you to put three different gift cards into one gift. So I thought that I came across that from Robin Armbrecht and Ambrecht. I can't remember, but she did it about 2 or 3 years ago. And I found it when I just was doing a search of Stampin' Up! Gift card holders. And I'm like, this is one I haven't done. So I thought I would share that with you tonight. And then I also have a Fun Fold Christmas card. And it's a Fun Fold I've done before, but I haven't done it this way. um, I've always done it in two pieces. And Lisa Curcio did a video, I think it was last week or maybe earlier this week, where she ended up doing the exact same fun fold, but she was able to do it out of one piece of cardstock and she didn't have to glue two pieces together. So I thought that was interesting. And so we've got a Christmas gift card tag and we have a Christmas fun fold for you today. I think next week I might do some stuff for Thanksgiving because I feel like I've passed fall and Thanksgiving and I've been focusing too much on Christmas. And I know Christmas is going to be here before we know it, right? And everybody's trying to get their Christmas stuff done early. But I thought I might give you some ideas for Thanksgiving as well before we get there. So, a couple of announcements. Thank you for all of you who liked and shared. Nancy's in Iowa and it's cold there too. I think it's cold almost every. Marva has a drafting chair and loves it too. Yeah, I really kind of like this, how it's a little bit higher. It's got a little thing for me to put my feet on. It's pretty cool. So yes, Donna, I've got all my little announcements. So the first one that I have, we've got one more week left of the starter kit. Let me get that there that out of the way so you can actually see what the starter kit is. And actually right now, I figured it out before I came online. I think I figured this out correctly. So if you get the cheaper part of this cheaper one, the $125 worth of products for $35, I would get that one. If you have more than $125 that you want to purchase and you want to purchase the 189 up to $189. So here's my math. So $189 minus $125 is $64. So you get $64 more worth of stuff and with the $99. Well, I figured you get a 20% discount on that once you sign up to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So if you signed up to be a demonstrator for the $35 and then you went in and you purchased your extra $64, you would be paying $41.20. Well, $41.20 added on to that $35 is $76.20. So why would you pay $99 for the 189 when you could pay $76.20 for $189? That's only because of the free shipping right now to do it on the other order. Otherwise, if you did it on an order afterwards, you would end up having to pay shipping on that, and it wouldn't be a better deal. But if you sign up today or tomorrow and you turn right around on as a demonstrator and you place an order, it actually would be cheaper to do the cheaper one and then add anything else that you wanted with the free shipping. So I thought I would point that out. That goes until next week. Let's see, next week, Friday. Halloween is on Friday. And like I said, there is free shipping. Actually, you know what? You couldn't order $64 worth of stuff and get free shipping because you got to order at least 75. But I think it would still end up being, let me look, 75 times 0.8, right? Would be $39 extra. Nope. Did I do that? No. $59 extra. So it would be about the same. It would be about $94 that you would be paying instead of $99. So you'd save a couple of dollars. Sorry about that. I did that wrong because you do have to order at least $75 to get the free shipping. I was like, wow, I thought I was really, really smart figuring that out. But there is free shipping on orders of $75 or more yet today, the rest of today, and all of tomorrow. A reminder that if you do order $50, place an order of $50 or more with me in this month, I will be sending you a gift. Now, if you placed that much of an order because you were taking my card buffet, then that doesn't count. But if you do an independent order outside of what it costs for the card buffet, then you end up getting a little treat from me as well. And I send that in the mail, or if I know I'm going to see you in a class, I'll give it to you in a class after the fact. So those are some really, really good deals. All right, let me go back to here. Oh, you know what? I did that wrong. Let's do this. There we go. I have little things set up and I didn't use them. A reminder that next week, Thursday, is the deadline to sign up or to enter into my creative challenge. Let me get the card. Just hang tight. I'm so organized. I can actually even find it. I knew right where it was because everything has a place right now. Whoops, my handle got stuck underneath there, but these handles flip up so they can go underneath there as well. So our card challenge right now, oh, I don't have that in there. Where did I put it? I don't know where our card challenge card is. I have these cards that I made last week. Remember when we made this one? And we made this one. Okay, our card challenge is going on. I think I can probably, let me go to my Facebook page and let me share my screen and I'll show you a picture that way. That's what I'm going to have to do. Let's see here. Here we go. We'll put this one on. Okay, let me share this. Hang tight, everyone. best laid plans, right? Let's go ahead and share our screen, and I will share this. And there is that picture. Okay, so we've got the merry and bright, and the dimensions are there. And it's one of those that cross in the middle, like it opens in the middle. Let me see if I can go back here and I'll show you the other picture that I have with it. There we go. So it opens up on the inside there. So if you want to enter into the creative challenge, all that you have to do, let me go ahead and close the picture. So if you look on my featured items here and you click on this, you would just go ahead and make a comment. Look at all these people who have entered already. Isn't that awesome? All right. So if you want to be entered, you would just go find this post and you would add your picture. If you are not a Facebook user, you can go ahead and email me. Let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And let me add my email again for those of you that would need to email me. You can email me a picture of your design, and you can also get entered into a drawing. So what do you win when you enter into that drawing? You end up, if your name is drawn, you will get $30 in Stampin' Rewards that I will email to you, and it'll go into your Stampin' Up. When you log into Stampin' Up to place an order, you will see that $30 there that you can spend. Now, just so you know, normally our Stampin' Rewards, you have like a year to spend them. You only have 3 months to spend these. So you have to be careful to watch that. It will show you, it'll say like you have some Stampin' Up! Rewards that are expiring soon. So just so you know that when I do send those, they're a little bit different than the ones that you earn yourself. So I think that's it for announcements. I think that's enough. We're here for stamping after all, right? Let me get rid of my keyboard. I have that in the way. And let's switch to this right here. There we go. And now I think I'm going to stand up. So you probably won't see me. It'll probably be, let's see, I can go like this now. There we go. So you can kind of still see me, but I like to stand while I'm stamping. So, like I mentioned, our gift card holder that we are going to make tonight is actually 3 gift cards that you can hold into the one holder. So let me get everything's sitting off to the side here. So we are going to be using our traditional Christmas. We're going to be using that bundle for this. So I have a card base that I'm using that's Cherry Cobbler, and it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have one pattern of DSP that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to use 2 other patterns of DSP, and I'm going to be seeing both sides. So you want to make sure that whatever you choose for your pattern, number one, you have to worry about dimensions, like which orientation, I should say, which way it's going so that it doesn't look like it's upside down. You also have to pick things where the colors kind of go together. So I picked this one, and on the back of that one is like this red color. So there's my Cherry Cobbler. And I picked this one, and on the back of that has some Secret C, and there's some Secret C in this pattern right here in there. So I thought these looked really nice together. So these are the 2 patterns that I'm going to be using. All right. And then we're going to have a little tag that pulls out that has our greeting in. And so the cardstock is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then the white that's going to go over the top of that is 4 by 3. I think I actually cheated and I made it like 4 1/16 by 3 1/16 because that doesn't look like a full 1/4 of an inch. And then I have a scrap to do some stamping on that we're going to do as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm actually going to, yes, I'm going to go like the stuff that has the gold in, I'm going to put up on top. And then I'm going to go with one that doesn't have gold in. And then this is going to flip up, and that's going to be our next layer. And then this is going to flip up, and that's going to be our last layer. So I'm doing gold, not gold, gold, and then not gold again. Now, you could just kind of line these up and kind of eyeball it. But one of the things that Robin said is if you want to make it so that it's actually a perfect lineup, you would want to measure down 3/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to make like a little mark there so that I can see it. It's 3/4 of an inch is right there. Okay, that's where I'm going to line this piece up, is right at that 3/4 of an inch. Then on this one, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to measure down 3/4 of an inch, and I'm making just a little mark. So right there's my 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to line that up there at that line. I'm going to fold this one up to that 3/4 of an inch line, that mark. And then this one, whoops, let's make it straight, Sarah. There we go. And then this one is just going to fold up on top of that. And just like that, we have a spot for a gift card here and there. What, right? Okay, I want these to be straight, so I'm going to pull them off, and I'm going to use a bone folder. I want them to line up. Okay, so I'm going to fold that one. I'm going to make sure that that lines up, and I'm going to fold that one. And then that will go right inside of there. All right, I'm going to start with this one right here in the middle. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this shut. Now, notice that this is actually wider than a gift card. So if I were to put a gift card, I have a gift card here. If I were to put this in, it would be completely hidden. So what I want to do is I want my gift card to be about right here. So I'm going to kind of feel where I need to have, I'm going to have some glue right about there, like a bead of glue that's going to have to go across here so that it seals it right about there. Okay, now you can put other glue down here too, but you don't want to put anything there. And you want this to be right on the edges. Okay, so now my gift card is going to be going right inside of there. And I'm going to go ahead and close that up. And I am using liquid glue, so I have to take just a second or so for it to dry. Hi, Debbie. A couple people, and Mary said hello as well when she tapped on. All right, so this will now pop right in here, and it's only going to go that far because I sealed it right there. Okay, so that's going to be one of our pockets. We're going to do the exact same thing when we set this on here. So my 3/4 mark that I have is right there. So this is going to go right in here. Okay, so that folds up like that. So now when I put this card, I must have got a little bit of glue on there. My glue must have been a little bit wet. It's a little sticky. Let's take our Target card. Okay, so if our Target card is going to go in here, again, we're going to have to make sure that we put some glue up a ways. So I don't want to go, when I made this one yesterday, I went like this and I went, oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to put glue all the way on the side. You want to just put a little bead down this side to make your pocket, and this side. And now again, I want that card to be able to stick up a little bit. So if I need to, I can go ahead and put it in there and realize that I'd have to put my line about right there. Okay, so then I'm going to line that up with where I had that. Okay, make sure I got this straight. There we go. All right, and then this one I can just glue down on the sides. It's going to go all the way to the little crease. I'm going to fold this up a little bit better. There we go. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on either side, and that one's like your perfect size for a gift card holder. Okay, and again, you do want this before you start sticking your gift card in like I am, you do want it to dry a little bit. All right, this right here, when I put this over the top of it, is going to create yet another pocket for my little tag to go inside of. And I am going to trim this just a tad bit. I'm going to bring my trimmer in here. It's not completely, do you see how, can you see how this, actually, you know what, I probably do a better job with my trimmer, my scissors. I didn't get that perfectly lined up. I did yesterday when I made this. Made all these cards last night. I was like looking for something. I'm like, I got to do something different. I feel like I do the same gift card holders all the time. So I'm like, let's do something a little bit different. Okay, so this is going to go in here, but just like we made those little pockets, we're going to make a pocket here as well. So we're just going to go ahead and put glue here. There goes my scissors I just got. This is going to go in here, and it looks like I can leave the glue right where I have it, and it's going to be about perfect. No, it's not, because it's going to come down here. Let's go here. Let's stick this in here. Sorry about that. This is going to go all the way to the bottom, and I need this to come about right there. There we go. So I am going to move it up just a little bit. I'm like, that's weird, because mine, when I did it all the way to the bottom, I wanted it up a little bit. Ah, thanks, Jan. Okay, so this is going to go on the front. It looks like I got a little bit of glue right over one of those pockets. We'll let it dry a little bit, and then I'll take an adhesive remover and get that off of there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that little bit of glue. All right, and then this, oh, look at that. That would have been gorgeous too, right? This is going to go down completely on this cherry cobbler. Okay. And I'm going to see, it's not completely dry yet, but I'm going to see if I can get some of it up already. Usually if you let it dry completely, it's easier to use the adhesive eraser on something that's dry and not on something that's wet. Okay, then we have this, which is going to be our little tag with our greeting in it. I'm going to put a greeting on the outside as well. And I'm using a greeting for the inside from our Words for the Season. I love this. May the magic of Christmas fill each corner of your home and heart. It looks like that when you stamp it. I stamped it to make sure that it was on my block straight. Okay, let's see here. Let's get some stamps and some ink. I've got Old Olive, because that's what color that designer paper is on the top here, is Old Olive. All right. For good measure, let's make sure it's straight. Looks like it's going down just a little bit. I'm going to just overcompensate a little bit by flipping it a little bit straighter. Oh, that looks really good. All right, while I have this out, I'm using, this is from our sign design. Look at that. We used the Season of Thanks in another card. Now we're going to use the Merry and Bright. And so I had that scrap. And we'll go ahead and ink this up good. Now, you do for this one for sure want to have something like this mat underneath to stamp it, or it does not stamp very well. Okay, and look at that, did not stamp very well. I washed this a couple of times, and if you have like a Stampin' Mist, like I have my little Stampin' Mist, I even put a little of that on my chamois so that I could clean that off. You kind of got to rough it up a little bit when you've got a really big stamp like this in order to make it really clear. I'm going to dry it off on my pants a little bit. All right, now let's try it. Can you see the difference between those two? Oh, night and day difference, right? So now, instead of typing paper, let's put it on our beautiful basic white. And that looks perfect. All right, and then we do have a punch for that. So I'm just going to line that up. I'm really liking this punch. I love the rounded part and then the square part at the bottom. And let's go ahead. I'm going to go back to my adhesive of choice lately, which has been my Stampin' Seal. I feel like because haven't used the liquid glue in a while. It's like I'm liquid glue challenged right now. I haven't used it for quite a while. All right, I'm going to use we've got these little tag punches. There's this fun one, and there's this slit. I used the slit when I did my sample, so I think I'm going to try this one. Oh, we'll see how that works. I don't usually like doing something completely new live on video. I like to have done it before, but we're going to try it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and clean this. And clean our other one too. That way I don't get ink on anything else. All right, so I brought this in because I think I want to, this was 4 1/4. So there's 4 1/4. Can you see that? So it's 4, and then this line is 1/4. So at 2 1/8 would be the center. So we've got 1, 2, no, it's 3 1/4, 3 1/4. So 1 1/2 would be the center, and then just a little bit over from that. So I'm just going to make like a little mark right there so I can see that, but I don't think anybody else is going to see that. And that's where I'm going to put in that little circle. You could just kind of eyeball it as well. And there's our little punch to put our ribbon in. And I'm going to use this sheer with gold stripe ribbon. Love this ribbon, and I think I cut some already. And I decided I wanted to do it a little bit different than I did my sample. So my sample, I ended up tying, but on this, I thought I'm going to use some of our Old Olive linen thread. I'm just going to tie. I'm going to go ahead and have these come together. And then I'm going to set this down. And I'm going to tie this in a bow around that and see how that looks. If I don't like it, I can take it off and I can always go back to do just my ribbon. But I thought I'd like to kind of see how that looks. Remember, with linen thread, you can go ahead and you can tie it in a knot and then still tie a really nice bow. Where with other ribbon, I wouldn't dream of tying it in a knot and then a bow because it would get too bulky. The linen thread is so thin that it doesn't really matter. Whoa, which one am I pulling? This one there. There we go. It was so nice this week, ladies. We had a week off of religion. So the public high school in the town where I am the director of religious formation, faith formation, they had off today and they have off tomorrow. I believe it's for parent-teacher conferences. And so last year when they had classes that day before, where did I put my, oh, I dropped my scissors, remember? There it is. Last year when they had religion classes, they found a lot of people were missing from class on that Wednesday because they didn't have school for 2 days. So families were wanting to get out of town. It's the first like vacation they've had since summer. And so they wanted to make like a weekend of it. And so they decided not to schedule religion this year. And then they scheduled it Halloween week because, well, Halloween falls on a Friday. So who cares if we have it on Wednesday, right? When normally they had that week off. So we just kind of flip-flopped them this year. So it was really nice last night to be able to come home and to be able to get ready. Okay, so this is going to slide right in here like this. Hopefully I didn't put it too, there we go, perfect. All right, and then we've got a gift card. And we've got another gift card. Right, again, and if you came on late, you could make this kind of like an experience where you could do, you know, maybe the gift cards all kind of like I said, this could be a movie, it could be dinner, and then it could be ice cream, and you want them to do something together as a family. So there we've got our 1, 2, 3 gift cards and our little greeting on the inside where you can sign your name. And I made mine a little bit thicker than Robin did, and maybe I shouldn't have made it as wide as I did, but I wanted it so that my greeting didn't look like it was jammed in there. All right, where did I put my Merry Christmas or Merry and Bright? It's got to be here somewhere. There it is. All right, so this I'm just going to pop up on some dimensionals right over in this corner, just so that we've got a greeting on the outside. I think I'm going to do those down there. Pop those off. Put that kind of in the corner a little bit. And then we have some of our traditional sparkling sequins that we will do in our old, well, we could do old olive or we could do gold, really. It doesn't matter because we've got the gold up there. Let's do gold. Let's do gold. I actually think I did do gold. I think I put one right there. And then we'll do one that's a little bit bigger. And then another little one down there. And there is our gift card holder. That is a triple gift card holder. If you can't decide what to get someone, or if you want to give them, like I said, some sort of experience. Linda, I stopped doing prizes, and what I decided to do instead is I do my creative challenge where people get a chance to pick what they want instead of me sending them what, and then for anyone who orders $50 or more in a month, you get something sent to you. Shipping just got to be too much, and to be honest, it was really, really hard for me to try to every week bundle everything up and have to run to the post office and drop everything off. It was just way too time consuming that I decided to change things up. And it's been about a month or two. Actually, I think last month was the first month. This is almost the second month that I've done that. Okay, so here is your gift card holder. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 gift cards, and you've got the little card on the inside that you can sign your name on to. All right, hopefully you had a chance to take a screenshot of that. I'm going to put my ruler back where it goes. I'm going to put the pen back where it goes while you're taking a screenshot. We'll get some of this other stuff out of here. The ribbon. I'll keep my bone folder. I'll need that for the next one. And okay, hopefully you're done with that. And I will set this over here. I'll bring it back out at the end. All right, Next, I don't think I need glue anymore. I'm not, I've really become a seal person, a liker of seal instead of liquid glue. And I don't know why, because I was using liquid glue all the time for a while. All right, here is our next card. And I'm going to um, score and cut this with you so that you can see how this is done. Let me get this in here. And this we need a little Versamark. We need some crumb cake ink. And I'm just going to flop my stamps from one stamp set to the other. All right. You've probably seen me do a Dutch door fold before. Now, when I've done my Dutch door folds, what I've done is I've had one piece that's the top part, and then the double doors on the bottom, I would add another piece that I would fold in together to make like the little gate fold along the bottom. Lisa Curcio this past week ended up doing the Dutch door fun fold, and she did it with one piece of cardstock and didn't have to glue anything to it. And I was like, that's genius. I've never seen it done that way before. And so she had 3 examples. So if you, Lisa Curcio, C-U-R-C-I-O, I think it is, Curcio. She did a video, and she actually has a link where you can download a PDF. She did 3 different ways to do this. I'm doing the first way that she did, but I'll explain when I get to it some of the other ways that she did, but you could go and look at other cards that are done using this exact fold. So our card base is basic beige, and it measures 8 inches by 7 1/8. And I'm going to do the scoring, and we're going to have to do some cutting away as well. But I'll do that after I go through all the other pieces. Then my coordinating cardstock. So my DSP, this is a carryover from last year, this paper that looks like this. And it comes in Mossy Meadow and Cherry Cobbler, and this it's got crumb cake and basic beige in it. And so because of that, my coordinating cardstock that I used was crumb cake. So I have 2 pieces that measure 2 1/4 by 3 7/8. I have 4 pieces, yes, 4, that measure stuff that I got here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That measure 1 7/8 by 2 1/4. And then I have a piece, this is for the inside, that measures 3 7/8 by 4 5/8. Okay, that's all with the crumb cake. Then with the DSP, I'm using this side for these. So this is 2 1/8 by 3 3/4. And then I'm using this fancy side for these smaller rectangles, and they are 1 3/4 by 2 1/8. So I have 4 of them. Now you could get away with 1 and you could get away with 2. I'm doing 4. I have a 1/2 inch strip of the crumb cake. And then on the inside to go along with that, I have a neutral piece that measures 3 3/4 by 4 1/2. So this will measure, that'll go right on top of there. And that's going to be the inside of our card. Okay, for the front. Now the front is what you can change. So I decided to do a piece of gold foil that's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then I did some basic beige that's 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. Now, when Lisa did hers, she had 3 layers here, and the center one was DSP, and she did some die cutting and put it over the top. In the second card, she didn't do a square. She ended up doing a die cut that was a circle. And in the third one, she took her square and she made it into a rhombus or a diamond and put it on her card that way. So there's a lot of different ways. So if you want to go back and look at her video, she's got a lot of different ways that you can do that. Okay, so those are all of our dimensions. Here is our base, our card base. I'm going to get my trimmer in Sure I am. It was sitting right here. Oh, you know what? I had to get it out to do what? Where did I put it after I trimmed something? Oh, here it is. I tried to trim that little, I was going to trim that little piece off, and then I decided, no, I'm just going to use my scissors. Okay, so here's my 8-inch side. And what I need to do is I need to score it at 2 inches and at 6 inches. So I'm going to put it in at 2 inches. I'm going to get my cutting blade out of the way. I'm actually going to take it completely off until I need it, because otherwise I accidentally cut and I don't mean to. So I'm going to do 2 inches and I'm going to do 6 inches. Okay, then on the 7 1/8 inch side, I'm going to score at 2 3/8 and 4 3/4. 2 3/8, so 1/8, 2/8, there's 3/8. It's not the smallest little line, but it's the next size. Okay, so there's 2 3/8, and then at 4 3/4. So 4 3/4. Okay, so that's all my scoring. All right, now what you need to do is you need to take off this whole panel right here and this whole panel right here. So where this line is all the way down to there, and where this line is all the way down to there. Okay, so we're going to be taking this section and this section off. Now you can just take a scissors and you can cut it. I do a little bit better with my trimmer. So I'm going to put my cutting blade back in. Okay, so there's like a little spot down here at the bottom that I just flipped that right back in. And this was at 2 inches. And I'm going to start where I can see that other score line was. I'm going to line that up. I'm at 2 inches and I'm just going to cut up. Why was it not at 2 inches? Did I not? Where did I score it? 2. Oh, I did it at 5 instead of 6. Let me do that again. It really is not that difficult. Let me grab another piece of basic beige. All right. So we're going to cut it at 8 by 7 1/8. Okay, so I don't need this stuff. I'm going to get that out of there. On the 8-inch side, I'm going to score. So here's my 8-inch side. I'm going to score it at 2. And 6. And on the 7 1/8 inch side, I'm going to score it at 2 3/8. So 2 3/8 and 4 3/4. Okay. Why does that not look right? This is going to fold in. Yeah, that's right. Okay. If I go to 2 inches, now it lined up right. Okay. 2 inches, I'm going to go down to that score line, which I can see is right there. I'm going to go to 6 inches and I'm going to do the same thing. Score line and up. Okay. Then I'm going to line this score line right inside my little track. I don't know if you can see that. Lining that up in the track. Hi, Amy. And I'm going to cut down to here. Okay, and then I'm going to cut up to there. And then these two pieces, just like that, are going to come out. That is our double door Dutch. Oh, Dutch door fold, I should say. To get my scoring blade, it just fell. Okay, so these are going to come in Got a little bit, I need a new blade, I think. Noticed that before, that it looks a little rough. All right, so that's going to come in. And this is going to come in. And this is going to close over the top. Now, normally when I did this card, this right here was one piece, and then this was a strip that I'd have to score and line up and glue to that and fold in. Now it's all in one piece, and I didn't have to add something to the back. We're going to cover up this little score line. We're not going to do anything with the score line. We're not going to fold on there. We're going to cover it up with our inside of the card. So there's our double Dutch door. Okay, let's do some stamping. So on the inside, this is our inside layer. We are going to, for this card, use our A Child is Born. I love this. If you love a religious card, this is the perfect one. I'm going to, on the inside, use the little manger. I'm just going to stamp that right down in that corner. And then I'm going to use the For Unto Us a Child is Born on the inside. Okay, so let's go ahead. I can actually put this together already. So we're going to adhere this to a layer of crumb cake. And there's just a little bit of the crumb cake showing through. And then we're going to add that to the inside of our card. Okay, so see how you can't see that score line anymore? You could from the back, but you can't see it from the front because we've got that covered up. All right, on one of these pieces, the longer pieces of this paper, I liked how this side of it has the gold, and you can kind of see that in the background. But I wanted my gold on here to be something specific. I wanted it to be the stars. And so what I decided to do was to stamp the star stamp. So that's this one right here. I'm going to use my little embossing buddy that comes with my embossing toolkit. And I'm going to use my little embossing buddy, and I'm just going to rub some of this little powder over it to get rid of any like fingerprints or oil or anything like that that the powder could stick to, because I want it just to stick to what I stamp in my Versamark. And so Versamark is like a little sticky. It's a watermark stamp pad. Whoops, I don't want that. I want the stars. And I'm just going to randomly, and you can't see them when you stamp with this, so you kind of are just making your best guess as to where to put them and hope that it turns out okay. No, really, you could, if you looked really closely, you could see. All right. Then I'm going to bring in my gold embossing powder. People always ask me, where do you get these little containers? I got mine at Meijer, and everyone has gone looking for them, and they're like, I can't find them at Meijer. If you're in the Appleton Meijer, if you're from local, it's just past like where they have all the baby stuff. They have like refrigerator things and containers like that. And that's where I ended up getting mine. That's where I get the little carrying cases that I put all my stamps in as well. Okay, so now I would look at that and I'd say it needs a little bit more right in that area. So then I would just take my stamp, now that I can see my stars, and I would stamp a little bit right there and add just a little bit more. And I usually take it and I kind of just tap it a little bit. and then use your heat tool to heat it up. And through the magic of TV, that's what that's going to look like. So now it matches this gold, but it actually is stars rather than being something just kind of random. All right. The other thing that I'm going to do is on this little strip of crumb cake, I'm going to take the Oh Holy Night, and I'll stamp this without using my embossing buddy because I put my embossing buddy away because through the magic of TV I have this done, but we're going to go ahead. See, if I used my embossing buddy, I wouldn't have all that. But look at this. Through the magic of TV, that Oh Holy Night is done. All right, we've got just a little more stamping to do. That front piece that was 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, that is going to be our nativity scene. So let me put this stuff away. On a bigger stamp like this, I like to tip it upside down, and I'm using crumb cake on here. Okay, and you can probably see already that this stamp is bigger than the little piece of paper that I'm putting it on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that Joseph and Mary and Jesus are all on there and they're kind of centered, and then parts of the image are just going to be kind of off the sides of it, and it still looks great, right? Okay, so there is our nativity, and that is all of our stamping. So we can go ahead and we can put this together. So all of these things, this piece that we embossed is going to get layered onto the crumb cake. Like so. What that is on there. I think it's just part of the paper. There is some little bit of gray granite in there, and I think that's just what that is, if you could see that. All right, we've got another one that's that size that doesn't have any stars on. That's just going to be plain. And then all of these rectangles, we're going to use the gold side up, and we're going to layer all of them onto crumb cake as well. Now, if you wanted to, you could layer them all onto gold. I just wanted one little piece of gold that I brought in because there was enough other gold that was on the paper and that was in the embossing that I did, that I didn't really feel that I needed to use the gold foil, which is, it's a little bit more expensive, and you only get 2 sheets. So each sheet is like $2.50. So you want to make sure, you're using it smart. Now these two had more of the gold in it, so I'm going to put those on the outside and these on the inside. So these two are going to be my outside doors. I'm going to pop that right on there. I'll put this one on here. Once you have everything stamped, this card really goes together fast. These two are going to be my inside pieces. These are the two that you could eliminate if you wanted to. Okay, so you don't have to put these on the inside. I saw that Lisa did it, and I'm like, I kind of like that. It's like you open it up and it's still stunning, Okay, and then the one that doesn't have the stars is going to go on the inside, and this is the one that you could do without. Again, you didn't have to put something on the inside, but it just really dresses it up nicely. Okay, And then this is going to go out on the front. See how quickly it goes together once you have everything stamped and you have all the pieces kind of together. Let me just, I don't know if I did a bone folder on these. I think I did. Okay, and then this piece is going to go on here, and this will go over the top to kind of hold that all into place. Oh, there's my holy night. I don't want to lose that. All right, so that's going to go on here. So I'm going to put dimensionals across the top. I'm just going to go down a little bit, put them in between, and I'm going to pop one right in the middle here because I don't know how far to go down with it, but I feel like it needs something right at that point. So I'm going to pull that one off. And we'll pull these off. I think I put those in the right direction, that this is the top. Oh, yes. Sometimes I've done that before where I'm like, oh, shoot, I turned it around and I didn't realize it. Okay, I'm going to get this straight and set that down. Look at that. Oh, okay, we're not done. We're not done. We're not done. All right, I wanted some stars on here. I wanted them to stand out a little bit more than that. So these are our gold shaker stars. You could put these in a shaker card. It comes with one of our Christmas tree dies, and I just like to shake them into my cover. And I'm going to use liquid glue, and we're going to hope that it treats me well here. I'm going to put just a tiny little dot right about there. Oops. I'm going to put one in here, and I'm going to put one down there. Okay, and I'm going to try to find a bigger star in there. I'm just going to take my putty knife, or my putty part of my take your pick tool, and here's a bigger star. I'm going to grab that one, and I'm going to set that right on top of that little dot of gold. I'm just going to hold that down. And then I want a littler one here. And then another little one up here. Okay, so we've got some stars on there that sparkle, right? I wanted the one big one for sure. And then let's put these away before I have stars on my whole pad here. All right, I got one there. Did you guys watch the Golden Bachelor last night? The lady from Little Chute got sent or was let go. She didn't do her hometown in Little Chute. They did say she was from Wisconsin. I think my mom said that her older brother went to school with my mom. I think because let's see, my mom's 80 and she was just in Little Chute a couple weeks ago for his 80th birthday. So now that would make sense. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there. I'm going to pop that up there, but I'm going to use, oh, look where I ended up putting my embossing buddy in the wrong thing. I put it with, this is the black and white gold baker's twine, and this has gold fleck in it, but it says it's white, but I felt like it was more of the basic beige. So I'm going to cut a little bit of that off. And I'm just going to wrap it kind of around my fingers a few times. And then bring the loopy loops kind of in the middle. And then I'm going to take think just a piece of Scotch tape, a really tiny piece of Scotch tape. I'm going to put that right there because my label's going to go over the top, so it'll cover that. And I'm just going to cut a little bit of that off. And my Oh Holy Night's going to go right over the top of that. So I'm just kind of looking to see where there's not some of the twine. And I'm going to take some of my mini dimensionals. And it looks like right down here, there's not twine. And like right up here. Okay, there's our Oh Holy Night. And then we open it, for unto us a child is born, and there is our manger. There we go. So that is our Dutch door fold that is made with one piece of paper rather than having to have two different pieces of paper. There we go. I was able to do it with one piece and be able to cut it, cut some pieces off and score it so that it worked that way. I think it's extra postage. What's extra postage? Yes, you would probably need some extra postage for this because if you didn't raise this up, if you put this down flat, and if you didn't put this twine on here, I think it would go through okay. Raising it up adds a little bit more. You may have to, this is actually, it would fit in a regular envelope, even though it's a little bit shorter. It still goes in a regular envelope. And I don't have my little slot thing. I think my slot thing's in the other room. I have one of those little slot things that you can push it through, but really this isn't all that thick. If I took the dimensionals off of this and laid that down flat, and if I even took this baker's twine out of there, I think that it would go without not needing extra postage. It's really not. Let me see. I have my scale right here. Let's put my scale out and see if it weighs more than 2 ounces. Nope. It's 0.8 ounces. So it's not even an full ounce. So it definitely wouldn't need anything because it's not more than 2 ounces. And I think if you took that and laid it flat rather than putting it up, I think that you would be able to go through without having to pay extra postage on it. You may want to do the hand cancel just because you don't want them to crush your card. And that is a little bit more. I've been doing that for almost all my cards just because it's kind of nice to do. I'm just going to put our little lamb right in the corner there. Oh, look at how cute he is. So there is our Dutch door fun fold. Hopefully you got a screenshot. Whoops, it's up too high now. Hopefully you're able to get a screenshot of that. I'll bring in the other. Let me get some of this stuff put away. Put the bone folder away, Sarah. Don't move it over. Take your pick tool away. Don't move it over. Okay, so there we go. I'll go ahead and slide this over. Move it down a little. There we go. And then our other one that we did tonight was our gift card holder with the 3 places to put our gift card. So there's our gift card holder, and there is our Dutch door fun fold. Oh my goodness, so fun to make. I had a blast last night doing it. I'm glad that I found a couple of things online that I could use as a reference because honestly, I was not being super creative. I'm like, I have to find something let me go ahead and come back to you. Here I am, got my chair back. All right, can you open the card again, please? Yes, I can. Let me go back to here. So if I open the card, it has the little bit there, it has that there, and then it has the for onto us. Okay, and we did hide, there is a score line that we did hide. It's like right there. I can see it on the back, but you really can't see it on the front of the card at all. And the old way that I used to put these on, you would see the thing that I wrapped around anyway. So yeah, it's pretty easy. All right, now I'll come back to you. Were there any questions? Thank you, Karen. Thank you guys for all your comments and saying that you love the cards. I will, if anyone has any suggestions, I thought that I would do maybe like a Thanksgiving treat holder. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Let me come back here. Darn it. I'll show you what it looks like on my sample. I did have this cut. So the Secret C is in here. Let's see if I can still put it in here. Do you know that if you have dimensionals on and you want to get them off, you just stick your scissors underneath there and you just kind of cut them off so you don't damage anything. Okay. Can you tell I've done that a few times? Yes, I have. Okay. Let me try to rub these off a little bit. I made this little banner that I thought just brought a little bit of the Secret C down to the bottom of this, and I completely forgot to put it on. Now, it wasn't when I went to go put this like this, I'm like, oh shoot, it's not quite long enough. So all I did was I cut it in half like so. Let me get the rest of these off of here. Let's see here. Just adds a little bit more to the gift card holder. I could have just probably showed you what I did. But I kind of went and put this one down like that. Okay, then I kind of held this here where I was going to put it. And then I put tape on the back of that one and stuck it underneath there. I wanted it to go about right there. And then I put my dimensionals on. When I looked at that, I'm like, why is this sitting over here? Oh my goodness, I took it out of the envelope and I never put it on the card. It was in the envelope that all the other stuff was in when I took it out, and it was still sitting there. I had shown you everything else with the dimensions and such. There we go. It's up a little bit higher than it was before, but that's all right. It's good. All right, so there we go. Added just a little bit of extra colors, this color that's down there, into our greeting. All right, now I will come back to you. All right, anything else? I don't think there were any questions. Let me see if I missed anything. A couple of you said hello to each other. That's awesome. I think it's extra postage. I answered that. All right. I don't think that there was anything that I missed. At least it doesn't look like it. If you did have a question and I didn't answer it, go ahead and put it at the bottom here. But otherwise, I think that that's it for tonight. So like I said, I think I'm going to do something maybe like something you could put on the table for Thanksgiving, like with maybe some mince or a treat of some sort in it. I'll try to do that for next week since Thanksgiving is coming up. In fact, I talked to my mom today about Thanksgiving, and I'm like, do you know who's coming for Thanksgiving? Are we having Thanksgiving? Because I never know. You know, like people are so busy. My niece is expecting a baby like the week before Thanksgiving, so I know they're not coming from Minneapolis. And I'm guessing that my brother and sister-in-law, the grandma and grandpa of this baby, are probably going to go meet the baby in Minneapolis. So I'm pretty sure they're probably not coming. They're probably going there to do Thanksgiving this year. But I think everyone else, well, at least I think my brothers and sister, my other brother and my sister are coming. I don't know if all their kids are coming because, once they get married and they start having their own families, it's hard because there's so many different families to have to go and see. So we get together with whoever can make it, right? And we appreciate it. So, but anyway, I thought maybe I would do something fun for Thanksgiving. And then it will be the week before the new online exclusives go live. And I showed you a little sneak peek. And there was that pop-up one that I said, I haven't played with the pop-up yet. I have Saturday and Sunday where I have to do nothing for work. I don't have a retreat and I don't have a stamp camp or anything like that. So I'm going to really spend some time playing. I also have to get ready for my Christmas camp, card camp. But yeah, Kathy and I pretty much have the majority of this stuff. We've got everything planned. It's just a matter of then having to cut everything. And I can't cut it till the stuff comes. So I'm going to be playing with new stuff. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I will see you again next week. And remember, the Creative Challenge ends next week. So I will be choosing a winner for that. And that person will get $30 in Stampin' Rewards to pick whatever they want. Online exclusives, catalog, discounted stuff, and get a lot more for the $30. It's entirely up to you and how you want to use it. So thank you guys so much and have a great weekend. I hope that I've inspired you to be a little crafty, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.